Okay. Right. Students, confirm me whether you can hear me.
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, great. So, with a very short notice, I'm really happy to see that some of the amount of students are here because I could have advertised earlier and just run after you, but it is not my nature, you know that. I want to actually hunt the high IQ students. So, for someone, if she just see the message, if they join to the group, they should know that they are just about to start because I said like it's Friday, right? ඔක Friday තියෙනවා කියන එක තේරුම් ගන්නත් බැරි තරම් අවුල් නම් ඉතින් පොඩක් අවුල්නේ නේ. Right. Okay. By the way, uh, we are just about to start paper classes very earlier than many of the institutions, but our chemistry sir started already. So why so early paper classes? You will have your own answer right now in your head. Why it is? Because you may experience some of the very intriguing level of dealing with questions. You know the theory, but you might not know how to apply. This is the ideal time to start a paper class because most of the students have finished something called Newton's laws at least. So in my class, I know that everybody has completed the entire laws of motion lesson, but in other classes, I don't know whether they have just gone ahead or just behind us. It can be in between. So, by the way, this is the ideal time because I know some of the students they just find really difficult to deal with harder questions. Not exactly harder, some mediocre type of questions, but they know the theory entirely. If you don't know the theory, that's the different level. Somehow, another thing, you are just keep forgetting most of the things you have learned so far. Especially the first paper I just sent you today. It is not a big deal. It's a very simple one, but it contains like 5 questions. These are like exactly tallying with the level. Not the A-level questions. I added like 7 A-level questions. Apart from that, only 5 uh, tallying with A-level. So almost like 12 A-level type of questions and 13 regular questions to make you kind of like into the subject. By the way, I'm pretty sure you may have forgotten most of the very key points in even in the very small lesson units and dimensions. Then after that, we have another thing called what? Measuring instruments, then linear motion, projectile motion, and the types of forces, then uh, Newton's laws of motion, friction, and many more. By the way, mm, I want to ask you a very sincere question from you. Uh, how did you really feel kind of like when you about to start discussing certain question, how did you feel just tackling a question? Is that challenging or really easy? Huh? When you are just about to tackle a kind of complicated question, today there is a kind of no, I'm not talking about this paper itself. I'm not talking about this paper I just sent you. Like whenever you are in a different tuition class or your school, whenever like a challenging question comes, yeah, are you trying to speak to me? Hello. By the way, and another thing, you keep forgetting things. The one thing is you keep forgetting things. Other thing is you don't know how to apply your theory knowledge into a question. Other thing is you to get really competence level into the exam level, you have to have regular practice. All these things will be given. Yeah, Savindra, what are you trying to say? So the thing is, this paper class, if you start earlier paper classes, it will facilitate you to achieve it. If you start paper classes very closer to the A level exam, This is the A-level exam. It is like a mountain. So if you're just about to start the paper class, very closer to the exam, so you will have a uphill task to do that. But if you start paper classes, being a paper class, somewhere here, this is where you started, somewhere here, you can just climb that without having any bigger hindrance because we have plenty of time to adjust ourselves and just hit the target without having any deviations. Because we continuously remind you, this is your level, you have to level up. This is your level, you have to level up. So you will also understand by yourself if you are like ahead, so that's a really good sign. If you are really below far, you have to work hard. If you are in average, you have to step up. Somehow you will continuously get to know what is your current level even. So before starting the class, I can start the class right now. So I want to give you some time for you to ask me anything you want to know about this class. Do you have anything to ask from me? Hello? Right. Okay. Shall we start the paper? Shall we start the paper? Shall we start the paper to do the paper? Okay. Yeah, you will get your. Sorry. I want to tell you. So I want to tell you one another thing. So in terms of chemistry class in this institution, it directly started with the term test papers. But here in physics, it is 1 minute because I'm suffering from a very heavy flu. But I decided to do this class today itself without delaying. The thing I want to tell you is, so we started this one, but I want to tell you our mission. So I actually included that in the very long message, but I know that many don't read thoroughly. So the first thing I want to tell you is the physics is not like other subjects. Normally, it is supposed to be the hardest subject out of all science streams, but easier when somebody feel it easier, it's absolutely easy for him. But on an average, it is really hard. But if you get into the right path, physics will be the easiest. By the way, so you have to get really good practice. It's like a wrestling match. If you play just a football match, even in the international level, if you put with Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, you can still play and hit the ball somehow, right? Somehow, and at least you can let them play and you can just pretend like you are in the game. But the thing is, as a team, if you represent, it will be a humiliation. I'm talking about like in the Super 11, you are just one of the part in that one. You can still act as if you are in the game. But if you are just sent to a wrestling match with someone like Roman Reigns or Undertaker or someone, so what about the condition for you? That is exactly like this. So you may have the skills, you may know the techniques and everything, you know the knowledge, but if you straight away go to a bigger match, you can't win. So here you have to have a very good practice. I have seen many students, they have a really good knowledge, but very lack of paper practice and timing and special skills to deal with MCQs, especially. They say like, so the paper is really easy, but the thing is, I couldn't catch up with it because I lost some marks because I could only do like 40 questions, 10 questions, all gone because he had some kind of timing issues. So the timing issue is a different thing. That's why I included certain bonus question in between the 13th and 14th. I included the bonus question only about telling you some tip, valuable tip that how to save your time. That's a bonus question out of 25. So here my plan is firstly, first month, that means first month in the first month, in the first day, day number one, it will be completely, that means today, it will be completely thinking of, basically, there are 15 questions. That means almost 60% of the question content coming from units and dimensions. UD, units and dimension, rest is spread. Rest is spread. Right. In the next day, it will be kind of like what? 15 questions based on mostly measuring instruments, rest will be spread. Then like the same way, I'm going to go for like linear motion, sorry, vectors, 15 questions from vectors, 15 other 10 is from random. And also in the very next week, linear motion and discussing 4 types of questions. Then finally, we will be going into in the fifth week, we are going to do kind of like what? Structured questions, structure paper, 4 structures, and it will be completely structure papers are all going to be based on measuring instruments. Then after kind of essay question paper from very line type of very small light paper to hard questions. There will be like 2 light questions and 2 hard questions in that paper. So the time duration is really lower for us at the beginning, but when your exam is around the corner, time scale will be extended. So as a beginning, we are just going to limit to 2 hours and 30 minutes. It will be increased by 30 minutes, another 30 minutes, another 30 minutes as we getting closer to the exam. In the last year, we actually did paper class until like 1 o'clock even. But those who feel sleepy, we just sent them away earlier. I just let them to go like around 11. So you may go now. Even for at 10, you can go. But for the people who have like really high stamina, they could stay with us. At that's my theory. By the way, so at the starting, it will be really very short time period, 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's more than enough, actually more, because you don't exactly feel the exam heat yet, but you have to do, you can't deny that because your term tests are just around the corner. Isn't that? You may start your term test very sooner, don't you? So within like next 2 months, once the sport meets are over, you will definitely get some kind of term test. It will just, if you are not up to top notch in that time, you will just get disappointed. Then this going to be your downfall. Most of the students can't get out of it. You have it on 4th April. That's great. It sounds great because you have like only almost like 3 weeks from here, no? That's great. I would like to hear. So that will definitely define your status. Your status. If you feel lower, then only God can save you. If you God have the mercy on you, He will help you to come back strongly. But I have seen many. Well, that is 25th. 25th means March or April. Hello, Mr. Peters. March. March. I'm really happy to see that. Okay. So that is why my task, because I know that most of you have just forgotten very important theory of even in the first few lessons. So MCQs are going to be the most hardest part. So let's see. If you are ready, I can just give you like a complete paper discussion as in an extra day like this. Today, it is like a holiday. If you find any holiday, like, and I can just arrange an extra class in the morning in like a poet day or somewhere and prepare for you for the entire test. But it will depend on with your capacity. If you are really in a lower capacity, it's really hard, not suitable to do a exam term test paper because you will feel really disappointed yourself. Firstly, you have to get rid of forgotten theories. You have to get rid of what shortcomings of the knowledge. You have to get rid of what technical barriers and everything, and timing and everything. That's why I'm just planning on lesson by lesson based, biased on like almost like 60% lesson content in one day, then like that. Okay, by the way, I explained you about my plan. So do you have anything to know, any extra thing? Because if you would like to, we can start the class now, right now, with discussion of the paper. Tell me. Hello. Hi. Pomela. Tell me something, man. Shall we start, or do you need I need to ask anything? Do you have to ask anything from me? You can ask me right now. I'm here to reply you, respond anything. Okay, somebody said, let's start, let's start, let's start. Okay, I'm getting messages like, let's start. Okay, you guys may do the first question. First, let's discuss 10 by 10. First to 10 MCQ. MCQ. You have 20 minutes to do that. 20 minutes to do that. So what is the time it is now? It is like it is yeah 03:57 p.m. now. Start is 0 and we are going to finish the timer around 04:17 p.m. Your timer is started now. You can just do the paper. The first 10 MCQ, you have 20 minutes. That means from now to 4:17, stop by this time. Okay. I hope everybody got the message correctly. This is the finishing time. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Drop me a message if you heard me well. Okay, great. Do it. So, as I can see that most of you have finished already. I wanted to show you one more important thing. That's why I just gave you the ideal time and deciding to stop you from working furthermore. So stop all the working and have a good look at me. And just give me 1 second. So stop all the working and just have a good look at me. So actually, in a physics paper, you will get like 50 MCQs. 50 MCQs within like 120 minutes. Right? 120 minutes. So actually I got like the MCQ ratio per minute. So actually 120 over 50. Let's find out the time it takes. It is like 2.4 minutes for each. 0.1 minute means 6 seconds. 0.4 minute means 24 seconds. So your timing is 2 minutes and 24 seconds. So these questions are supposed to be very easier. So that's why I decided to give you an average of 2 minutes for each. But that is also a very long time for such simple questions like this. Why? I'm going to tell you, if you have studied an A-level paper. Okay, how many of you have just tried an A-level paper alone? Because you can only manage 1, 2, 3, maximum of 4 questions in an A-level paper with your current knowledge. Maximum of 4 questions, MCQs extra. So you might find a certain like structure question is different case, but in okay, just tell by your names, because if you just raise hand, I can only see the raise hand count only. Just drop a message, I can see. To Thardu Physics Unlimited, that one, I can see that. So, oh, who has tried? Just drop a message quickly. Okay, I'm really happy. So you may have seen, you have no idea because every question seems to be hard for you in general. But first 0 to 10, you can do one question on average of 25 seconds. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ වගේ speed එක කරන්න පුළුවන් if you practice very well. Even lower than that. This is a medium level. So why are you doing this fast? Because in the last 10 questions, you may need at least like 3 to 4 minutes. So you have to have time from these first few ones. But if I just gave you like on an average of 25 seconds and only 250 seconds for you for this paper, it will be really hard. So like 4 minutes, that's not enough. But for this type of paper, at your current situation, you should be able to deal with like one question at a one at a starting. So I have to make you practice for that level. So within next 1.5 years, you will be able to do this first 10 type of questions within like 25 to maximum 30 seconds. No more than that is tolerable. ඊට වඩා tolerate කරන්න බෑ. 30 seconds, max 25 to 30 seconds to save your time for last few questions. There are big calculations, big theory things you have to think. Okay, first 10 questions are very easy. Let's discuss. In the first one, some of you might have just forgotten this knowledge even. So I'm going to discuss the first question itself. If the number of radioactive atoms found to be given as a function of nt and not exponential minus kt. Okay, so exp. This is an exam question actually, past paper one. How we look at it? Says nt is equals to n naught exp and minus kt. In the last night, I asked my regular class students, tomorrow is like Mahasivaratri. So is that trouble for you? We can start the class in the next week. Then actually the actual Tamil students said they have no problem, they can join. But the Sinhalese, few Sinhalese students said, sir, heta Mahasivaratri ne on nani. Mahasivaratri තියෙන උන්ට කරන්න ඕනේ. නැති සෙට් එක හෙට Mahasivaratri ne on හැලු. මාරු මනුස්සයෙක් ඉන්නේ. හරි. See exp. EXP means exponential functions. So if you are really uncomfortable to see this one, you may rearrange it like NT is equals to N naught E. This EXP means E to the power minus KT. So here there is a certain knowledge you should have. If you have forgotten this one, you may write it like so. The just like the dimensions. So now write if you have forgotten only. Otherwise, don't write dimensions of any numerical value. Any numerical value. The theory, if you have forgotten, dimensions of any numerical value, which may include numerical constants like pi, numerical constants like pi, exponents, any exponent, that means e to the power something, x to the power something, whatever the exponent, any logarithmic value, log base something to this, or ln. Ln is natural logarithm, any value like this, or what do you want to write? Okay, I said like any numerical value. I'm repeating that again. Any numerical value, including certain numerical constants like pi, any exponent. Write this one as example. Any exponent, any logarithmic value, or any trigonometric value. Any trig, it can be sine, any box means anything, it can be cos, tan, any box can be any number. So whole together going to be what? Dimension of 1. Dimensionless means it is not 0. Dimensionless means 1. Dimension of what? 1. Dimensionless means dimension of 1. If you have any misconception there, just write that one as well. If you have forgotten, with a triple star point, dimensionless means it is not 0. It is always 1. Write that point as well. Okay. Now let's tackle this. Tackling this one is pretty easy. Asking of this exponent. I told you all the exponents have the dimension of 1 as the product of it. So in the first one, 1 is equals to k, and the dimension of time is t. Dimension of k is 1 over t. That means t minus 1. Did you get that answer? Answer is D. Did you get that answer, everybody? Did you get that answer? Yeah, great. Okay, great. Okay, I'm happy. In the second one, it says the coefficient of thermal expansion alpha of a metal bar of length simple L whose length expand by delta x, expand by diga වැඩි වුණා, expand by delta L when the temperature increased by delta T is given by delta L equals to alpha L delta T. Okay, very simple one. I'm discussing the question number 2 now. So in the question number 2, it says the equation delta L, delta stands for the change, is equals to alpha L delta T, alpha L delta T. Now you want to get the dimension of alpha. Let's try to find out the dimension of alpha. So delta L over L delta T. Whenever you see this one, So I have to remind you another thing. Now write this in for the second question. If you don't know the theory, just write this point if you have missed. For dimensions and units, magnitude of the quantity does not matter. If it is 1 meter, the unit is, dimension is L. If it is 2 meter, what about, is that 2L? Is that 2L? I'm asking, no, it is not 2L, it is still L. L stands for length. Change of length, extension of length, double the length, halve the length, getting a fraction of length, increasing, decreasing, whatever the thing it costs. If it is length, that means for a particular kind of like a physical quantity, we don't consider the magnitude, we just mark it as L. So this L, and L stands for capital L, this delta L stands for capital L. So you can just cancel that off. Can you understand? Because L to L cancel off, it doesn't matter whether it is a fraction, very small part, still a length. Length to length, you can cancel off. Only remaining thing is 1 over T. That means 1 over temperature stands for what? Our temperature means K or theta is given here. What is it given in the terms of K? So just K. So the thing is K minus 1. The answer is A. I hope everybody got that answer correctly. This is delta L, that is L. What can I do? Kela struggle කරපු අය. අනේ, I hope you understood. Very good. Now it is say zero error in an instrument is introduced. Systematic error, random error, least count error, or personal error, or parallax error. What is that? Huh? So there are basically two types of errors. No? One is systematic error, other one is random error. In terms of systematic error means we can remove that error easily because we know the source. We can finally add or subtract that from the system and remove. Systematic, it repeating in some certain manner. But random errors, we don't know the origin of the source. So technically, it's really hard to remove the error. So this is a systematic error because if you just observe it, you can just find out the amount of error. So there is a kind of like small balance over here. So there is an error. See, the error margin is like 10 Newton. Error margin is almost like 10 Newton. It is a positive 10 Newton because before me to measure anything, the Newton meter already reads 10 Newton. What should I do at the end? If I take like a reading and if it is marking like 40 Newton for a certain ball. Okay, let me just give you a demonstration. Okay, does it change? Yeah. But it shows like 30 Newton now. Now it shows like 30 Newton. Not 30 Newton, actually 20 Newton. What should I do now? It shows like 20 Newton. The error is like 10 Newton. What should I do? Should I remove that or add? Should I add that 10 Newton to this one, make it 30 Newton? No, remove that and make it like 10 Newton. I have to subtract because it's a ready-made one. So the kind of error we can remove, it is a systematic error because we know the origin and how to treat with that as well. Okay, great. Now the next one. The value of a number of quantities are used in a fundamental formula, mathematical formula. Quantity that should be most precise and accurate measurement is the one. Right. How to be accurate and precise? So the accuracy, precision and accuracy. I have explained these things a lot. This is like a dartboard. If it is just landing on this area, that's called accuracy, and the precision is the average value around it. So here, like, how does it have like more accuracy, quantity, more precise and accurate? Having a small magnitude, if you take like a very small amount, so the error, percentage error, and the fractional error, and the accuracy and the precision, all going to be really chaotic. But if you measure a very big amount, if there is a certain error margin as a fraction or a percentage will be really low. So you can't just think of that. You don't want to think. The thing is what having a large magnitude or used in the numerator, quantity to be measured used in the denominator. Nothing does matter. What is it? So if you want to get like a most precise and accurate, it should be having a largest magnitude. So you should measure that in the largest magnitude, number quantities of the mathematical formula. If you use that in largest magnitude, and it should actually be used in the denominator as well, the amount. So it should be mostly like multiple answer stuff. Unfortunately, I just marked it like here. It's my bad, by the way. Okay. Now have a good look at the fifth one. Screw gauge. Zero error of the main scale coincide with the fifth division of the circular scale in the figure one. The circular division of screw gauge are like 50. It moves 0.5 millimeter on the main scale in one rotation. The diameter of the ball is like in the figure. Okay. Now you have to know one thing. There are like how many readings are there in the thimble scale? 0 here. We turn it in anti-clockwise direction. So the numbers are appearing like this way, 5, then 45 here. Because we just unscrew the stuff and say we rotate that in the clockwise direction from the face. If you see it from the other side, it's anti-clockwise. So the numbers are just moving down in this manner. So the number appearing here, it is 5. That means I can just directly take that number as 5. In the sperometer, it is a different case, right? In the sperometer, you have to use in some other manner. Here in different way. Sperometer, we have to move in upward and as well as downward. So, but here there is no downward motion. So it is an up. So it is like 5 stuff is like a positive reading. So your final reading is almost like 25 millimeters. So let me just mark how many, like, okay, 0, 1, 2. Already 2 gone. 2 means 0.5. 0.5 times 2. 0.5 times 2 is the main scale reading. In the main scale, there are 2 parts gone. The first line you can't count. Why you can't count the first line? That is the 0 line. So this is the 0 line. First, second, third, like that. So there are 3 lines. 3 lines means the first line is the 0 line. So only 2 lines. That means 1 millimeter. It is like 1 millimeter plus circular scale reading. How to read the circular scale? In the terms of the circular scale reading, you have to get the circular scale reading by number of divisions coincide multiplied by least count of the instrument. It says like the instrument is like nothing mentioned about the least count. So if you have forgotten the least count equation for micrometer screw gauge, least count is what? least count in what? Circular scale divide by n. So what is the least count in the circular scale? It marks in like 50 divisions. There are 50 divisions. So divisions. So it will go along, main scale divide by 0.5 millimeter, divide by 50, your count is 0.01 millimeter is the least count for the instrument. There are 25 such things. 25 multiplied by 0.01. So your answer is like 1.25 millimeter. What about the zero error? Is that a positive zero error or negative zero error? Is that a positive error or negative error? It is a positive error. Do you have any problem with understanding what is positive, what is negative? If you have any problem with understanding what is negative and positive, just let me know. I can explain you if you have forgotten. Because if you just move forward without getting proper understanding of positive and negative, it will be really chaotic for you. Let me know about that. Yeah, sir, Tamai. To you. Okay. Is there anybody else who can't understand positive and negative zero error in a micrometer screw gauge? ඉන්නවනම් කියන්න බොරුවට ගිලගෙන ඉන්න එපා. Can you explain it? Okay, I will explain it. Okay, just give me a 1 minute. I will bring my micrometer screw gauge. Just give me 1 minute. Just okay. In terms of kind of like vernier caliper, when you hold this vernier caliper tightly closed, if the zero line of the main scale, there are two scales in a micrometer screw gauge as well as vernier caliper. In this one, it is a circular scale. This is a sliding scale, the supportive one. Let me draw it here in form of the vernier caliper. It is marked in millimeters or half millimeters mainly. And there is another thing called vernier scale. This one can slide towards it, to and from there. So here, see, this bottom scale is the one known as the vernier scale. The middle scale is known as the main scale. It's marked in millimeters. So I can slide this, right? If these two lines are coinciding with each other, both the zero lines, these type of structures we used to call as no zero error. If you have any problem regarding any zero error, I'll forward you my the recording of that zero error thing, so you can watch. So simply, if it is like this, it is no zero error. But if it is like here, already about to get some reading, the vernier scale is slided. See, it is like slide to here. So that means it has given a ready-made reading even before I am to take any reading. If I am taking reading, it should have just moved. That's normal. But the thing is, before me to take such a reading like this, when the jaws are tightly closed, if it shows something like that, we used to call it as a positive zero error. What do we call it as? A positive zero error. If you see something like this, zero line, and the other line has moved to here. Okay, zero line of the other one. So we used to call this type of motion, before me to take a reading, it is like moved to the other side, opposite side of the measurement you are just going to take. If I want to take a reading, I have to move it to here. But if it has moved to the other side, before me to take a reading, it's showing some negative value. So that means we used to call it as a negative zero error. Understood it? This is the simplest thing I can do for such a short period of time when we are dealing with, because in the theory class I have already explained you these things taking longer time. Guys, those who asked about that, are you clear with that? Good. Let me show you what is that micrometer screw gauge. You may have seen that in your schools already. Even in the micrometer screw gauge, there it is something like this. This a frame is there. In that one, there is a protective mechanism. You may hear the sound. Do you hear any ticky sound? So that ticker sound gives you some chance of what? Avoiding it getting from further compression. But for this one, it is actually zero errorless. You don't see that because it's a shiny surface. But here the zero line in the main scale and the circular scale are coinciding with each other. Let me draw it. I'm going to draw this one, erase this one because in that micrometer screw gauge thingy, there is a line here. On this line, the other one can rotate. The other one can rotate around it. If the zero line of the main scale and the zero line of the what circular scale are just kind of coincide with each other, we used to call it as zero errorless, because in modern ones we can adjust this one. See, there is a knob here. We can move the knob forward and backward and make it zero errorless. That's why I could make it zero errorless. But in all days, they had no such a technology. They have to adhere with the zero error, counting the zero error now. But unfortunately, we are in the 21st century. Still, we are trying to find out the zero errors of the instruments. ඔය සුද්දෝ මෙහෙට සිලබස් එක ඉන්ට්‍රොඩියුස් කරපු කාලේදී විච්ච දේවල් අපි තාම කරනවා. Actually, day before yesterday, I saw a video an Indian professor who's done his advanced level back in like 1965. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලගේ තාත්තලාවත් මම හිතන්නේ ඉපදිලා නැතිව ඇති ඒ කාලේ. Right? Might be your grandfather was just doing A level by the time. He's a grandfather too. That guy just telling that the and saying, when I was in grade 12, I had to find out this value of gravity using this exact set of center of gravity finding simple pendulum. Unfortunately, you are in grade 12 as well, still finding the center of gravity. Why don't you move from that? Actually, almost like 50 years. Still, India is still the same way. How about us? We are just doing a very bad syllabus. Unfortunately, we have to. Sorry. London-based syllabus they teach about the micrometer screw gauge, but nothing about zero error, because we can just remove the zero error now. But still, our exam department is trying to adhere with the zero error. ඒ දවස්වල එහෙම ඔප්ෂන් එකක් පිටින්නේ නැති නිසා zero error එක අයින් කරන්න ක්‍රමයක් හොයාගන්න උනේ. දැන් ඉතින් පුළුවන් වෙලත් අපි එහෙම කරමු. In this one, you can just rotate. See the zero line and 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So you can see that it is we are just rotating to unscrewing side. That means anti-clockwise. Whenever we make any anti-clockwise movement, so it just move like this. So that is why I told you, when you take the value like this, you take the value of 5 itself. If it shows 45, that is not 45, it is just -5. I have explained you these things in my regular class. If anybody has a doubt, you can ask for the video of recording. I can give you that. Right. Now here it is a error, positive 0 error, positive error. How to remove that? 0.01 is the least count. You have to multiply by the number of lines coincide in that. How many lines are there? 5 lines. It is like 0.05 millimeter. Now you have to subtract that because it's already taken. Imagine like if there is a certain wooden block, if I just stand on it, my real height, it is the real height, it is marked like here. If there is a certain stand, I would just stand on it. That to do that, I just represent that with standing on my toes like this. Oh, I may read a very different height now. Oh, I'm really happy. Wow. But actually it is not, because why, there is something. Then finally I see that, and unfortunately I have to measure that and just subtract, and I'm very sad. Have to do it. But in the same way, if there is like a small pit there, so I get really confused. Whatever I have to add that value. Can you understand? Okay, guys. Now let's move on to the next one. In the next one, it is saying 1 watt-hour contains how many joules? Don't tell me that unnecessary Rapi what we didn't do anything regarding power. This is belongs to the first lesson, units and dimension. In that one, we are just talking about something called arbitrary units. Can you tell me a few arbitrary units that we use? Can you tell me? භාවිතයේ පහසුවට arbitrary කියන්නේ පාවිච්චි පහසුවට හදාගත්ත ඒවා. Can you tell me 2 or 3 apart from this? Kilowatt hour, watt hour? Can you tell me? Hello. Hello, nama මොකක්ද ඔයා? Newton? Newton is a kind of SI unit. No, I'm talking about arbitrary units. Newton is just a handspan. That's very primary, no? I'm talking about modern day arbitrary units. Feet is not also, it is like a different thing. No. Pascal is SI unit. So feet is an arbitrary unit, you can still take, but modern one. I'm talking about the modern one. Modern day ones. Inches are not actually imperial one. In the modern day, no. We use things like what? Kilowatt hours to measure the amount of electricity consumption. Pound is not, it is also British unit. And AU, I taught you, you have forgotten. Astronomical unit. Can you remember? We use that in measuring the interstellar distance. And light year, we use that. Modern ones. Mile, no, it is imperial. British. Angstrom, very good. Angstrom, very good. And electron volt. ඔය වගේ 7-8ක් දුන්නා. අමතක කරලා මේ ටිකට. You have forgotten already. Almost like 5 to 6 months gone. Not 5 to 6 months, almost like 8 months gone. Okay, guys, have a good look at what hour Wow. 1 watt-hour contains how many joule? What is the equation for power? Can you tell me in your O-level grade 10 knowledge? What is the power equation? If you guys can remember. Only if you remember. If you don't remember, don't tell me. Huh? Not remember. Don't remember. Work over time. Work means it is another way of expressing energy. Energy. Work means energy. It asks about energy in joule. We use joules to measure energy. ඒවා 10 වසරේ knowledge එක මතක තියෙනවා නම් හොඳයි. If you have forgotten, don't worry. Within like 1.5 months or like 1 month from here, you will learn energy, work, energy and power. හරිද? එතකොට අමතක වෙච්ච අයටත් ආයෙත් මතක් කරනවා. Power multiplied by time. Power is 1 watt. Multiplied by 1 hour, that means you have to convert to seconds. 1 by 60 to convert to minutes. Again 60 to convert to seconds. So 60 by 60, your final answer is 3600 joule. So it is not in the answer scheme, and 3.6 into 10 to the power 2 joule. There is an answer. Which one? The second one, B. Okay. Now there is another one. Consider the following statement about the motion of an object. The object moving with constant speed. Yeah, sorry. 3. I just forgot. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3. It's my bad. Answer is C, not B. Answer is C. It is my bad. Right. Sorry, there is a 7th one as well. I forgot. The expression of photon energy given by E is equal to HF, where F is frequency, and of the photon and is a constant. H is a constant. The dimension of H is. Let's try to find it. E is equals to HF. When you find the dimension, you have to write like a stuff like here. E over F. What is E? So can you remember the dimensions of energy? So force into distance, force is mLT minus 2. Force into distance, force is mLT minus 2 multiplied by L. So it is going to be mL square T minus 2. So I have to put that mL square T minus 2 divided by frequency. What is the dimension of frequency? T minus 1. T minus 1. So it is going to be cancelling off this one. mL minus 1. Sorry, mL square T minus 1. Did you get this answer? What is the answer here? The first one, A. I hope you got the answer. Ennadi neda answer? Yeah, very good. Great. I'm happy. Consider the following statement about the motion of an object. Okay. An object moving with constant speed that can be accelerated. Constant speed that can accelerate. Definitely yes. Definitely yes. I will explain you very soon. A velocity of an object be constant, that the speed can change. If the velocity is a constant, the speed cannot change. Definitely no. Because velocity means magnitude and the direction should be the same. The speed of an object constant, the velocity can change. Okay, the speed is a constant one, but the velocity can change. Definitely yes. So in that one, what is the answer here? A and C only. Answer is 5th one. So I'm going to give you an example for constant speed but accelerate. So have a good look at what is the definition of acceleration. If you can remember from grade 10, definition of acceleration is the rate of change of what? Velocity, right? Then all in A level also we have done rate of change of velocity or change of velocity over time. In this type of arrangement, you will learn very soon, like within like 2 to 3 months from here. That is called circular motion. You have some kind of constant value of speed because it changes the distance, direction. As a result, there is a thing called centripetal force it may cause. So it can accelerate definitely. You will learn within like 2 months from here. Don't worry now. In the next one, the speed of an object is constant, but the velocity can change. Definitely, that is not a big rocket science. That is not a big rocket science because if you start from a point A and you reach to point B, you have a straight path as well as you have kind of like this type of path. You maintain the speed, constant speed of 100 kilometers per hour. But you count the time as well. You only get the displacement, not the distance. So displacement is a fixed one, even though it covers a very long distance. You finally divide it by the displacement with the time respective to time. So you have a higher speed but lower velocity. Next one. In a measuring instrument, n minus 1 main scale divisions is divided into n main, in a measuring instrument, n minus 1 main scale divisions is divided into n main scale division. Male කියලා වැදිලා තියෙන්නේ, not L, it is n, the scale divisions. Find the least count of the instrument. Okay. Now you should know one thing. Here, for the regular vernier, 5, 7, 8, you only take 9 from here. So that is the n amount. Right? In the other one, you take 10. That means n plus 1. But here, your way is just different. Your way is approaching is different. You consider this as n and the other one as n minus 1. Okay. Now to find out the value of this of very small reading instrument value is the difference between this. Okay. I will draw that one scale and the one vernier scale, one main scale, and this difference is the least count. This difference is the least count. Okay. To find that, what you have to do is you have to find out the total main scale division, right? So least count, how to find out the least count? You have to subtract what? One main scale minus what? Main scale. How many main scale parts are there? N minus 1 main scale parts are there. Divide by n. So you can get the common factor out. Mx main scale minus 1 minus n minus 1 over n. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply this ms times n minus n plus 1. When you expand the bracket, it's going to be plus 1 over n. N and n cancel off. It is going to be what? Least count is going to be main scale divided by n. So if you consider the main scale as a 1 unit, so it is going to be like what? 1 over n. Answer is B. If you just need me to explain you one more time, please ask me. මෙතන කරපු වැඩේ තේරුම් නැති කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවා නම් ටාර් ගාලා අහන්න දැන් කියලා දෙන්න යන්නේ. If you don't understand that part. මාස 4කට විතර කලින් කරපු අය. So if you don't understand, please ask. I will give you only 20 seconds for you to ask. Everybody seems to be really fine. If you want to take a screenshot. Okay, you can leave to your temple. Thank you very much for remaining here even under your New Year something. It's like not Deepavali, what is it called? Mahasivaratri. Just go to temple and do your rituals. No, don't regret your absence. You are such a bright student. Please go. Bye. Only for her, not for you. Right. Now the next one, the specific heat capacity of C of substance is given by C is equals to A plus BT square, where the temperature, T is temperature and A and B are respectively are. So I have to tell you one important thing. There is a very famous saying in Nasruddin. Have you ever heard of Nasruddin before? A certain, actually, he was just considered to be like a clown, but not a clown, actually, an advice of the king of somewhere in Arabia. Nasruddin is like another type of person. One day he said like, Ekajati Buru Tamai Ekata name. Story is very long, but remember Nasruddin, only you can add the similar types of people together. Here, if something certain physical quantity is X, it is made out of some other physical quantities like Y and Z. If I just link it like this way, X is equals to Y plus 3Z plus 5D over 3 X, something like this. See, Y, sorry. Something like that. Horrible, no? But you know one thing, that means I will just get like a subtraction to here. You can add and subtract only if the physical quantities are identical. You can add the length to another length. Good example is you can just measure length of a rope and you can tie with another rope to that one and make a longer one. If your length of the stuff is like 3 meters, you want to make a 8-meter rope, you have to find another 5 meters of the same rope and tie together and make a longer one. Instead of that, one of your friend brings, you need 5 extra meters, but he brings 5 liters of what? Certain paint can. What can you simply do? You can tilt it inverted and put that on his head. That's it. But because why? You technically know you can't add the length with the volume. Isn't that? Because they are 2 different dimensions. So simple general understanding of your day-to-day life is you can't add 2 different dimensions. The dimensions are here, the left-hand side definitely should be equal to the right-hand side. Technically, left-hand side should be equal to right-hand side. In that sense, what? This one should be equal to each other. So I can write it like dimension of X should be equals to dimension of Y equals to dimension of what? 3z equals to dimension of 5d over 3y. Now you also know one thing, we don't care about the numerical values. So you can just forget about these numbers. Why the heck do we care about numerical values? Because numerical values only carry the dimension of 1. So here C should be, dimension of C should definitely be equals to dimension of A. Dimension of C is M0 L square T minus 2 and theta minus 1. Let's see whether we are finding the same thing. Because in the bottom answers, you can't find M, because why? M is supposed to be 0. M let's find out whether we have the L square T minus 2 K minus 1. Okay, here. There is only one answer there. L square T minus 1, theta minus 1. So the stuff is given like theta minus 1. So we don't want to worry about K minus 1 because in the answer is given in theta minus 1. A is there. B is not going to be. So C is also not going to be. D is not going to be. So your only answer you can just take is B, because why? L square T minus, A. L square T minus 2 theta minus 1 is only answer come in A for the left hand side. That means for the right hand side, you don't want to find that even, because why? Without even finding B, you can get the answer. This is how you save the time. You have to check for the first answer first. If you only find that in one answer, so you don't want to check for the second one too, if you are really confident only. So the answer is A. Understand? How many of you got like 10 out of 10? Because 10 out of 10, we getting different answers. Let me check. In the B, let me check. We getting different answer. C is equals to A plus B is square. So A should be that one. No need to worry about. L square T minus 2 theta minus 1. So here B we don't know. And the stuff is like T to the power, T is temperature not here. T to the power 2, that means temperature. Dimension of B is going to be L square T minus 2 theta minus 3. Oh shit. Oh, no. That is not a mistake. It is a typing mistake. L is missing in the answer. It is only square again. It is just in the answer. See, in the answer of A, it is a typing mistake. The question is dead correct. Dead right. See, in the first one, you can see there is the comma. There is the comma and exponent of 2, t to the power minus 2 and theta to minus 3. So here missing mystery one is L. That's the problem. That is a typing mistake, not a printing mistake, even typing mistake. So the answer is definitely A. Got the point? Hello? Are you there? So it is also time saving technique. Can you understand that? There is a time saving technique. If your first answer is no. It says T is for capital T stands for temperature. Here, T in the equation stands for what? Temperature. It is not the dimensions. You have wind up with the dimensions and the equation thing. See, in the equation, you have like this. C should be equals to B to the power T to the power 2. This T means time. This T, sorry, temperature. Temperature. This T means temperature. That means theta. Okay? Not time. Understand? So here, when you substitute this T, I have already substituted this T. That is, this T is in terms of time. It has nothing to do with this guy's theta. Can you understand your mistake? Right? This part is entirely theta, not time. Great. How many of you got 10 out of 10? So don't be in sky high because these 10 questions are really, most of them are very cheaper questions. Some of them are like kind of weighted, kind of, not somehow. How many of you got all 10 out of 10? 10? 9? Only 6. දාන්නකො ළමයි answers ටික කීයක් ආවද කියලා. 81 was wrong, sir. හරි ඒක ප්‍රොබ්ලම් නැහැ. Then others? Yeah, it counts. Okay. Others? පහයි අප්පා. බය වෙන්න එපා අප්පා. 9, sir. Okay අප්පා. හතයි. Okay. දැන් තේරෙනවනේ අපි කොච්චර දන්නවා කියලා හිතන් හිටියත් එකක් හරි වරදිනවා කියලා බයි හරි. ඔපේසනීට වරදුනේ කෝකද ඔපේසනී? වා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් හොඳටම වැඩ කරන ළමෙක්. ඔපේසනී ඔට එකක් වරදින්නේ කොහොමද? Which one you went wrong? 8th one. That is a future theory. Don't worry. That is a future theory of circular motion. ඔය ගැන වා දන්නේ නැහැ කියන එක ignore කරන්න පුළුවන්. That is almost like 10 out of 10. Future theory, no? Future theory with your current understanding. It is mostly like future theory. Okay. It is like a showcase how the questions will be in future. Now, shall we do the next 5 questions, including the bonus one? There are 6 questions. My timing scale is going to be like only 10 minutes. 10 minutes for all what? 5 questions. Shall we? I'm make a time off karannet naha. About 7:15 you have to, sorry, not 7:15. 7:20 you have to finish. Sorry, 5:20. Question number 11 to 16. Q 11 to 15. Finish at 5:20 p.m. I'm not stopping the recording even. Okay. Okay, lamai. So you guys keep doing or done? Lamai, done or doing? Your time is almost over. Tell me. Done. Now we'll look at last one. Okay, do it. Ah. Until you to do, I will draw something. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth of the vernier, fourth of the main. Okay. Now your basic understanding will be coming to play the game. Right? Your time is over. In the 11th one, when external jaws of vernier caliper contact with each other, the zeros of two scales are not collinear, but fourth mark of the vernier scale is collinear with fourth mark of the main scale when the measurements are taken from this vernier caliper. Okay. When the 0 and 0, if the 0 of main and 0 of vernier in touch with each other with no 0 error, it should be something like this. The fourth line is a line before the fourth line of the main scale. If the main scale fourth line and vernier scale fourth line, if this is the main scale, red one indicates the main scale fourth line, and the blue one indicates the vernier scale fourth line. And according to this setup, see, vernier main scale contains the fixed jaw. It doesn't move. See, this jaw doesn't move, but the vernier scale move. Jaw does move. What should vernier want to do towards to move towards there or move to left, move to right or move to left to get collinear with the red one? Move to right, move to the right or move to the left? Huh? See the stuff on the board and tell me. To the right. At the right means if you move this to the right, that means it's a positive movement. The error is a positive error. That means n times least count. So n is 4, least counter is 0.1. The error is positive 0.4 millimeter. That's how you find out whether it is positive or negative using your common sense. Common sense. Ultimately, common sense. 0. 4 millimeters would be added to measurement or subtracted. If it is a positive error, you have to subtract. It should be get subtracted. The answer should be the second one. Did you get that answer? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yeah. In the next one, it says the error of a stopwatch that is find the acceleration due to gravity is simple. Pendulum is 0.1 second. If the period is 0.2 second, the time are taken for 25 oscillations, the percentage error is. Percentage error how to find out the percentage error? How to find out the percentage error? Percentage error is least count over reading. In terms of the least count, it is going to be like 0.1 second. The reading is 12. 1.2 is for one reading, 25 such. Okay. So I'd like to make it like 15 over 120. Exchange in decimals by 1 over 25. How many things? 3. How many things? 5 is 5. How many 3s are there? 4. So what is the answer? 4 times 5 is 20. Wait. Yeah. 5 and 3 and yes and 3. 1 over 4 times 5 is 20. 20. 200. 1 over 200. Oh no! I made a big mistake. It is not 1.550. That's why I was super confused. It is 0.1 up, and I can write it like 1 over 12 times 25. So what can I do is I can just make it 100. 100 by 10 to the power minus 2 over 25 times 12. So it is almost like 4. 4 over 12 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 2. 1 over 3. So 1 over 3 means 0.33 by 10 to the power minus 2 means 0.0033. 0.0033. And again, you have to get the percentage. Percentage means you have to multiply this by 100 again. So I should have multiplied here to remove that. So answer is 0.33%. The answer is third one. Did you get the answer as third one? 0.33%. It is a percentage error. It is a fractional error. How to multiply by percentage? 100%. 0.33%. Okay, very good. Now the next one looks very uncomfortable. It looks to be uncomfortable, but it is nothing actually. Actually, it is nothing. It is looking to be uncomfortable. I told you one thing. Whenever you are dealing with this type of things, always find out another one point which is starting all the arrows. That is the starting point. One point which is just finding all the arrows are meeting. That is the finishing point. Starting to finishing, there will be the point where we are finding for. Here, it will start here. See, reach to there, reach to there, reach to there, reach to there, reach to there. And in here, it is like here, 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 here. And you can see one thing, all the arrows are leaving from here. See, all the arrows. This point, 2 arrows coming, 2 arrows gone. This point, see, all the arrows gone. 2 arrows coming, 2 arrows gone. 2 arrows coming, 2 arrows gone. Here, see, 2 arrows coming, 2 arrows gone. Here, all the arrows are meeting here. So this is where your starting point, and this is where your finishing point. Oh yeah. Say oh yeah. තේරුණා නම්? එහෙම කියන්නේ නැහැ නේ අපි. Resultant should be lying in somewhere here. Okay, how many arrows are coming to here? How many paths? One path, එකයි, two paths, දෙකයි, three paths, තුනයි, four paths, හතරයි. That means the resultant forces are, sorry, 4 times. This point is what? F. This point is C, FC. 4FC. අනේ FC, CF දෙකම එකයිනේ කියලා එහෙම ගන්න එපා. Directions තියෙනවා. It is the fifth one, not CF. ඔක්කොම අරගෙන අන්තිමට නානවා FC ත් එකයි CF ත් එකයි කියලා. No, they are two different things because directions. 4FC. Did you get this answer? Huh? Did you get this answer? Yes or no? Yes, very good. Yeah, very good. I'm so happy. I'm not going to do the bonus one. I will discuss the bonus one in a later time. The 14th one. Two men started to move from a certain point at the same direction in opposite directions, same point, same time with opposite directions along a straight line in a speed of 4 ms minus and 5 ms minus. Find out the time taken for them to make a difference in their mutual distance of 12 meters. Find out the starting point, find out the finishing point, find out how many lines are going there. That is the resultant. ඕක මේ සමහරු මේ නටනවා දාගෙන. මේක නිකන් දඟර නටන නටන තරම් දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. Now have a good look at. One guy is moving at 5 ms minus 1. Another one is moving at 4 ms minus 1 at the start. At somewhere they make a distance, mutual distance difference of 12 meters apart from each other. 12 meters apart from each other. The thing is, yeah, time taken. This guy is just moving at 4t. The other one is 5t. Right? We know velocity equals to distance over time. Right? So distance is made by here d5 and d4 should be d5 plus d4 should be equals to 12. So d equals to vt, velocity into time. Let me find that answer here. d4 is like 4 times t plus 5 times t should be equals to 12. So my common factor is t. It is times what? 4 times 4 plus 5 is 9 equals to 12. Time taken is a very simple answer, 12 over 9. It is really bad. So 4 over 3. Leave the answer like 4 over 3, but there is no answer like that. So that means I have to go for fractions, mixed fractions here. When you get the mixed fraction knowledge, here 7 knowledge, 4 over 3 you can rewrite in the form of 113 seconds. Grade 7 mathematics. මේක ආපු කට්ටිය ඉන්නවද හරියට? ඈ? This one? This one? Okay. Now both the pens are here. I am going to move this one at one speed, other one at different speed. Now at a time at here. So see, it started at here. Let me mark. This is the starting point. The black pen and the red pen. At this point, you can see. Make a see this one, velocity of black one times the time. Velocity of red one times the time, because it was the same time, same period of time. Because then nam ekam velawe move kare. Both moved in the same time. It says in the opposite directions now. Read the question carefully. See, two men start to move in a certain point at the same time in opposite directions along a straight line. Same time at same point in opposite directions. ඒක තේරුම් ගන්න බැරිද? OMS. So this guy has moved with its own velocity and the same time, its own velocity under the same time. See, the speed of 4 multiplied by the time, the speed of 5 multiplied by the time, the gap should be 12. So when that meeting, so common denominator, common factor is t out. 4 plus 5 is 9, it's 12. T is equals to 12 divided by 9, it is 4 over 3. Mixed fraction 1 and 1 upon 3. Still hard? Still hard? මට මීටර නම් කියලා දෙන්න දන්නේ නැහැ. A motor car is started to move from A to B at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour and completed to return from B to A at point of 30 kilometers per hour as completed. Find out the average speed of vehicle. So it is not like 30 plus 50 and it is 40. No. Answer එක අඩුම ගානේ ඔයාලව රවට්ටන්නවත් ඒ ආන්සර් එක දීලා අදිලා තියෙනවා. First one, they have given that answer only to distract you. It is only to distract you. So here it is like it has moved some distance of what? A to B under 50 kilometers per hour, speed of 50. Is returning with 30. Right? Average speed. So you have to think so much of things to do this one, not only one thing, because it is a complex effort. Why? If the distance is d, we know velocity equals distance over time. Distance equals to vt. So what is the total distance? The speed equals to total distance over time. Total distance is 50 times. So, sorry, I want to find out the time. Sorry, time is equals to 50 divided by s for the first one. In the returning journey, the going and returning is wait. No, I made a mistake here. Returning time is equals to distance over velocity. That means distance over 50 and other one is distance over 30. Right. Okay, velocity is equals to what? Total distance is 2d, because to go to there 1d, coming back another d, 2d divided by d over 50 plus d over 30. Now we have to do what? Cross multiply with each other and d and d and d cancel off. Is going to be like 2 there, 30 plus 50 divided by 50 by 50 here, 50 by 30, sorry, 30. So altogether it is going to be like 2 upon 80 multiplied by 3 times 5 is like 150. It comes up here, 1 0 gone, and 4 here. 150 over 4 is like 37.5 kilometers per hour. Could you understand that or not? If you don't understand, I will make a different video for that one. තේරුණාද නැද්ද? Understood. Others? Others understood or not? Lamai understood. Very good. There are 10 more questions you may try at home, so you can see that. I have to tell you the final most thing. You might be able to understand the maximum amount of discussable question limit is going to be like 15 to 20. විස්සක් කරන්නත් හරි challenging because we have to explain thoroughly. හරි, there will be like future questions will take long. ඔය එකින් එකට ඔයාලට පැටලෙන හැම තැනම කියලා දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් ඉක්මනට ගොඩක් කරනවට වඩා හිමින් සීරුවේ ඔය මිස් වෙලා තියෙන හැම පොයින්ට් එකක්ම හදාගෙන ඉස්සරහට යන එක තමයි වැදගත්. මම නම් හිතන්නේ. I think that's the best thing to do. So let's try to finish as much questions as we can, but with full understanding. Okay, guys? So there are 10 questions you may try at home. This includes most of exam level questions, and you may just see how is your competence level. And in the next week, I will come up with more of like measuring instrument related questions. You may just read the things you have learned. Nikamma metenta enne epa pisso wage. Just read everything you have done under measuring instruments and come here. Then try. Then if you make a mistake, try to understand that how to do it. Mostly on measuring instrument, but some other questions as well. So day by day, we have to improve everything what we have done in the past and future, and get more stronger and go for the exam and just get excelled. Okay. Shall we wind up the class for today? Shall we? Ad. Hane? Say yes. Yes, කියන්නේවත් නැහැ. Okay. Bye, Lamai. God bless you.